I just wanted to give my immediate reaction after just closing the book on chapter 11. Maybe my favorite chapter, one of my favorite chapters in the series. I know I said it about the last one, but this book is just getting better and better. It start, and I will do a full chapter breakdown of some of my thoughts, but holy smokes, it is so good. Highlights are Torvald Nom and his wife, and a very real sort of relationship that they have there. She's not buying his story of why he was gone, and he goes, and there are these. We find out that these people who come in to also guard this lady um, are Segula, former Segula or renegade Segula. They don't have their masks, and once you do that, it's not very good. But there's a lot to be said about that whole scene. I love Torvald. He might be a top someone. I often have these favorite characters. Like Fiddler was my favorite character for a while. Obviously, Troll for a long while. Um, man, Talk for a long while. Man, I love Torvald right now. Man, I love that guy. Um, Such a great scene. Even though he's this nom, he kind of just he reminds me of like a sitcom dad who just can't quite get it together, but he still somehow manages to go through. And then at the end of that big scene, um, he makes this jump anyway, and he just ends up on at his little cramped office where he has to kind of like climb over the desk, and he has this indigestion or whatever, and just amazing. And these two guards that just bicker, they remind me of the vultures in Jungle Book. Just hilarious guys. Really like those two, Lef and Scorch. Um, and then we have this amazing, amazing part with Kruppa, who kind of goes through these different things that are happening within the city, and look what's happening with this guy, and look as Duaker and Solara are walking, and look how this is going in over here, and it's just leading to this major event. And then we see, you can almost just see it in your mind's eye. Once he sort of jumps very quickly to these different perspectives or these different people, and you can see as you can without any dialogue, but it really sets the tone as the assassins are coming in. They're kind of pretending something's not quite right, but I will do a full breakdown of this. But this might be enough for you if you want, but I would love to do a full breakdown of this because it's just that good. And I was just at the edge of my seat, and we lost Mallet, who was my first. He was the first bridge burner that I really liked. I mean, he wasn't my favorite bridge burner by the end, by any means, but he was my first where I really liked that guy, and sad about that. We lost Blue Pearl as well, so we lost a healer, and we lost a mage. Um, Crap. It also made note that this Krull's bar used to be this temple, and I don't know if maybe in a way it still is sort of acting as that in some way, right? Because blood is being spilt in that place. Um, then we have Crocus. Cutter, but she calls him Crocus, and then he turns around and calls her by her old name. And it's actually kind of a sweet moment. I really liked Crocus in the first book. And he was really the perspective that I was following probably the closest for most of that book, with Opon and the coin. Um, I say coin weird, don't I? But I really liked that stuff. And even though, I really liked that he was going in and putting that stuff back, but he couldn't really put it back because, the damage was done. And I really like some of the stuff that is said in this book. And there's a lot that is said kind of between the lines that I want to talk about, but really a standout chapter. I think I have one more in subbook 12 or subbook 2. It's chapter 12. And I imagine now we will go and see maybe a wrap up of what's happening in Bastion, which, like, the last chapter was incredible, and I cannot wait to see if we get some awakening. If we see the dying god, and if we see Calor doing, I just can't wait. So I will do some kind of full thing for those who are interested. If not, just I'll see you on the one after that. But I loved this chapter that we just got. It was awesome.